Hi,
everybody. Thanks for watching today at the Right Asylum with Emily Walker and KN Lee. Today we have Scarlett Dawn on the show, who is a USA Today and New York Times bestseller and a hell of an awesome gal. And we're super excited to talk to her about her success and being a hybrid author. First, as always, we kind of want to go into what's going on with us this week in publishing news and in our life. So, Kenya, if you want to start.
yes, I actually have some really good publishing news this week. I just released a new novella, a paranormal romance called Silenced, onto Amazon, and it's doing really well, so check that out. It's called Silenced. It's witches and vampires, a great romance story that goes about 100 years because they're both immortal. So, yeah, check that out. What about you, Emily?
Right now, I have a book coming out on the 22nd, and it's called Next to Me. It is a new adult romance, has a little bit of drama in there. So right now, I'm trying to work on editing it and getting everything ready for that release. And it's starting to warm up a little bit. It snowed a tiny bit last night, but today the sun's out, so I'm pretty excited about maybe getting into spring. Scarlett, what do you have going on that you can tell us about?
What I can tell you about. The most things that I have going on right now is that I'm like editing right now. I'm editing a whole bunch. Doing Chosen One, which is the 6th book in the Forever Evermore series. And I also have the Skeleton Key project, which keeps me busy with questions that other authors have and stuff like that. And I have a super secret project that I'm doing too, but I can't go into that.
That's exciting.
Well, that's no fun.
Sorry.
Okay. So if you want to, just go ahead and tell everybody kind of who you are and what you write and all that good stuff.
Okay. I am Scarlett Dawn, and I write lots of stuff. I write, it's all romance. Right now it's mainly all new adult too. I only have one adult series, and that's contemporary, and it's the Lion Security series. And I write fantasy, sci-fi, and paranormal. And let's see, I don't know. I'm kind of boring.
Not at all. I actually read her Lion Security series, and it's so good. I tell you, I was not a romance fan until I found Scarlett Dawn, so I'm a huge fan.
That's saying something.
Yeah, definitely. That and Just One Sip, part of the Club series, so good. One of my favorite couples.
Agree. I like that couple too. I like that family.
Oh, you actually did a little spin-off with her, with one of the couples.
Yeah. So what, out of all the genres that you get to write, which is your favorite?
I would have to say probably paranormal because of the fact that it allows me to actually be more imaginative than I can actually do with anything contemporary, just because I get to build the world, and whereas contemporary is just here on Earth, and whenever I can, and paranormal and fantasy can be too, but I just really enjoyed making the rules different, in society, and it intrigues me rather than having the boring, these are the regular laws that everybody, has to follow stuff.
I gotcha.
I'm with you on that one. I'm the same way. I prefer fantasy, and I love romance now, but definitely love world building and having your creative control.
I agree. I mean, I like writing paranormal, I think, the most out of everything besides horror, which I haven't written that much horror lately. I need to get back into it. because that's definitely some different different roles and different types of people. So I guess just tell us a little bit about how you got started writing. Like, what was the beginning like for you?
Don't make fun of me. It actually, whenever I went, I actually don't mind going to like movies and stuff like that by myself, and I went this one time. The husband wasn't with me, so I got to pick whatever movie I wanted to see, and so I'm just sitting there looking at, like the billboards and stuff, and I'm like, you know, what is this movie? It's Twilight. What is this? And I decided to go in and just, watch the movie. And as soon as I watched the movie, I went to the bookstore and I purchased all of the books and started reading them. And it just really, it hit home how much, like, because I used to read whenever I was, younger teenager. My grandma would take me to like rainy day books, or I think it was some place in the mall too. But anyway, she would take me there like whenever I was younger, and I would get books all the time whenever I was young. But then, life happens, and pretty much reading got put by the wayside with kids and all of that stuff. And anyway, whenever I bought those Twilight books, I just my whole love for it just came again, and it was so fun. And I just started reading the whole bunch again, and then I decided, I kind of want to write, and I decided that I was just going to try it out, and I ended up being very passionate about it. And I wrote, I think it was around 10 books or something like that, before everybody pretty much took it seriously, that this was kind of becoming more of a hobby, to me. And the hubs was like, why don't you, publish this stuff? And to me, I was like, no, these are mine. I don't want to publish these. These are mine, my stories. And so I continued writing, and then my employer, my boss actually, she asked me, are you going to publish? She's like, I read too, so you should really try to publish these. And so I decided, what, I actually would kind of like to share these, with everybody, and decided to go ahead and start querying agents. And I queried, I think it was 150 agents, if I remember correctly. And every single one of them turned me down. And this was on King Hall, by the way.
Yeah.
And eventually I just said, what, I'm not sure if these agents know what they're talking about. And so I went straight to the publisher, and that's where I actually got all of my offers, was whenever I went to a couple, I sent off my submission to publishers, and they liked it. And I chose Escape Publishing, which is a Harlequin Australia imprint, and they've been fabulous so far. So I have no complaints there.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. It's kind of, like I said, kind of boring, but
It began with Twilight.
It began with Twilight.
That's such a good story. Wow. I would have never have guessed.
I really actually like Twilight. I think that she is an excellent storyteller, and that is what I try to do. I think she was very good with making like her characters. The development of the characters were well done, and a lot of my stories actually are very much character driven rather than plot and everything is in my stories, but they're definitely more character driven than anything else.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that in your books. The characters all end up feeling very real to you, which is such a good strength.
Well, I just kind of, I let them run free whenever I start writing. That's pretty much how it is. I just, if they want to go one direction, I'm like, oh crap, that was not where I wanted to go,
They seem to always know what's best, though.
Yes. unless I get to the point where, one of the characters, ends up like dying, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna backtrack this because, this person is like one of my favorite characters, and I can't have them dying right now.
Yeah.
You gotta kill him, though. It's my mantra. You gotta kill him eventually.
You know,
Um,
my favorite character out of all of my books is actually Antonio. And have you guys read King Hall?
I have not read that one yet. I've read The Fall and The Lion Security. That's the one I need to get into in the yeah in the Evermore series.
Antonio is a mage, and he's a father figure, and he's crazy as hell, and I absolutely adore him, and he's one that I don't think I will ever kill off. I can't do it. He's my man.
I know that's good. Let him stay. You just kill two side characters instead.
And the bad guy, always the bad
Yeah.
I like to let the bad guy live, just so it really annoys people that he's still out there somewhere doing something bad. I don't know. That's kind of Well, so from what I understand, you had 10 books written before you even started querying.
Actually, I think it was 10 books whenever everybody started like bugging me to send them off, and I think it ended up around 13 by the time.
Wow.
Or actually, no, it was probably more than that because the Forever Evermore series was written, and that's 10 books. And then I had the Lion Security done, and so 13, and then I have another series, 14, 15, 16, probably about 17, I would say, 17 books.
That's a lot.
Impressive. Yeah, that's great.
More than I have written now.
I have to say that whenever you already have them written, it's so much easier whenever you go to publishing them,
Yeah.
because you can take that true time to like edit them, and because whenever I edit, nobody wants me to edit any of their books because I'm like one of those horror people where you see red like in every single word.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good for me, but I hate doing it to other people. But yeah, so it's really nice to have them published beforehand or written beforehand, so that when I go to publish them, it's not a worry. Am I going to have this done or anything like that? And plus, I can go back, and that's one of the really fun things. I can go back and do foreshadowing. Like into the very first book, compared to a 10-book series, and then later on, I'm like, you know what? Go look back at book 1, and you'll see, where that all came in, and it's fun for readers too. That way, they can reread it and see what they've missed throughout all of it.
It's a good plan. I'm writing a space opera right now, and I definitely want to write all 3 books for the space opera before I even think about starting to edit or work on the first one. So that's a good thing to, and like a lot of people, I think, start querying before they've even finished a full manuscript because they're so excited and they want to get out there. And then if they do get this acceptance or they want, they request a full, then they don't have a full manuscript that they have to write. It's not going to be that quality that you would have if you had it written and you had painstakingly, gone over it before you started querying.
Yeah, that's a huge no-no. Any, authors out there, do not go querying agents if your manuscript is not done.
No, I'm too nervous to do that. I've always been too nervous to do that. But I know some people who have done it and have actually, after they've been writing for a while, have actually been able to write the book after they got the request. But I just think that it's better if you don't rush yourself, as much as you possibly can.
Right.
Yeah, good advice. So how did you land New York Times bestseller and USA Today? Like, how'd that work?
That actually came about through an anthology, actually.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
it was for my book, Flippin' Playboys, which is a super fun one. If okay, number one, it's a threesome, so if you don't like threesome, pass on by. But but it's hot, it's fun, and it's funny as heck. And it was put in the Taming the Alpha. Um,
Yeah.
Mandy Roth and Michelle Pillow put it together, and they are excellent authors, and they are excellent professionals. They are super sweet, and if you ever get like a chance to hook up with them in any type of way, I would definitely take advantage of it because they just really know what their business, and they know they've been here, in this industry long enough to know what's going on.
Awesome.
That's always good when you can get into a anthology or into a multi-author project, perhaps with somebody who is more knowledgeable in the publishing world than you are, because it helps you along and you learn so much from it. So you've also got some self-published books, is that correct?
Yep. I've got, let's see. Okay. I've got the Line Security series, which is there's Obsidian Liquor, Obsidian Mask, and then Obsidian Music will be coming out this summer. Yay! And
Exciting.
you get to have more Daniil.
Oh man, I love
And
it.
let's see, I've got the Cold Mark, those actually started out as serials, and I've decided that I'm not going to be writing any more serials. So I put that all into one book and rebranded it under Mark Number One, and it's sci-fi. It's new adult sci-fi, and it's really fun. The girl is fighting for her freedom, and she's also caught the attention of actually four gentlemen. Yeah,
Wow.
she's caught their attention, and they are barbaric aliens, and they are very possessive, and she fights for her freedom. That's fun. Moon Mark will be out, and it's Mark Number Two will be out in this spring sometime. I still haven't set a date on it. Sorry, guys. Uh, but it'll be out this spring, so it won't be that long. And then, let's see. Did I say Gargoyle already?
No.
Okay. I got Gargoyle out too, and that's part of the Woodland Creek series, and that was a fun project to do. There was 30 authors, and it was just, God, this is such a lonely profession. I mean, truly. And, being able to run a project that had 30 authors going on it, it was just, it feels like a privilege to be able to do that. And not only that, every person that was in that group too was just amazing. They were all gung ho, and they pushed their own books and stuff. So it was a good project. And let's see, I've got Just One Sip, which is part of the Club series, another group project. Those are a little bit different. Those are BDSM, and one book comes out for that series, compared to the Woodland Creek series where everybody published at once. And it's, the funny thing is, Just One Sip, even though it's set in, the BDSM like community and everything, it is literally the sweetest book that I have ever written.
It is.
You
It
would
is
think,
so sweet.
I didn't even mean for that to happen. I just and I'm like, okay, these two people are like, they're screwed up. I mean, like massively screwed up, and the way they come together, it's dang sweet. I don't know. I was so surprised, and I was actually even tempted to go back and delete it all and rewrite to make it somebody that was more domineering, and but I couldn't do it. It was just the way the characters were meant to be played out. And
I think it fit well within the series, even though they were really sweet, and he is part owner and everything. I think that it really it still made sense in the line, like in the series, especially as you continue to read. I think that it fit in well.
Thank you.
I'm
You're
glad
welcome.
you enjoyed it.
So I want to come back to the multi-author thing, but first I want to ask you, why did you decide not to do serials anymore?
Okay, there's cons and pros to this, but the pros for actually staying with the serials was it actually sold a lot. I'm not gonna lie, my serials it sold a lot, and but the funny thing is the con of it was that you know, whenever reviews go up and stuff like that, if it bleeds, it leads type of thing,
Yeah.
and a lot of reviewers weren't exactly happy that it was a serial because they were used to all of my longer works rather than short installments. And so, I got to thinking about it too. And as a reader, I actually truly enjoy reading long books. So I decided, me myself as a reader, I don't really enjoy them. So I'm going to make longer ones from here on out. Now, if I started up a new pen name or something like that, where all it was serials, that might be an option, sometime in the future. But for my Scarlett brand and everything, the truth of it is that my fans just, even though it's sold, I got a lot of heat for it. So,
Right.
Definitely.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the serials are doing really well, like we've discussed the Calendar Girl series, or we may not have discussed the Calendar Girl series on the show, but it's doing very well, and that's serials, but it's hers are they kind of have a conclusion at the end of each one, so it's more like it's a continuing story, but it's a standalone serial, and I think that those are starting to become more popular as people kind of don't want to be left hanging after 5 pages, and not everybody does that, but some authors do put out very short books and keep going. And I think that's kind of fading, honestly. I think people are starting to want to read longer books. What do you think? What do you think, Kenyon?
I definitely like longer books. The longer, the better for me. But I read Scarlett Dawn serials, and they didn't bother me. I was just like, just ready for the next one, ready for the next one, because they're that good. But I mean, I do like the longer, the better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so with your multi-author projects and you have a few of them. What kind of possessed you to want to do that in the beginning? Like, what kind of made you think that was a way to go?
Well, I tried an anthology once, and Emily, I believe you were part of it. And the anthology didn't work exactly the way that I had hoped and for it to go. And so I decided that the projects, the way that I have created them, is so that each author has to individually, pimp their books. Excuse me. They have to pimp, themselves. Whereas before, you just, it was one book where authors didn't have a true accountability, on whether or not they were pimping it. So this way, it's really nice. But too, like I said, I like to work with authors. I don't like to just, sit back and live this life by myself because that's just boring.
Okay. Yeah, and you also have, you have the ability to network. I'm going to go grab Obsidian to show them how big it is while y'all chat.
So yeah, I like the multi-author projects, and usually 30 is the amount that I go with. It seems a number that has worked well for it, and it's fun. And the thing is that you literally have to find these authors that will work well together because let's face it, everybody's personalities are different, and so it's just the truth. Everybody has, you can't have too many chieftains, so you have to find people who will work together well and will help each other, and I think I've done pretty good with it. I think that everybody is. I don't know. I'm proud. I'm proud of like everybody who's been in these groups because it's just been amazing.
I think you do a phenomenal job. Like you're just very organized and you assert yourself so people know that you are the leader. And I think that's what these kind of groups need. And they always work well because of the organization and um, I enjoy being in the groups. Like they're such an honor.
Thank you. I love having you guys.
Yay.
Thanks. So this was the Obsidian collection. Look how big this book was.
Yeah.
That was the anthology she's talking about. And your book, Obsidian Liquor, was in this, and then you went on to do a series with it, right?
Yes, I did.
I haven't actually done anything with Obsidian Beauty. I probably should.
Well, yeah. You
I
haven't
know.
get on that.
But yeah, I really enjoyed being in that collection, and I thought it was beautiful. But like you said, it just didn't go. It didn't go the way we thought it would go. And
dude,
so I think sometimes when you jump into these projects, people expect big things to happen, and then they might not, especially if you don't pull your weight on a project like that. And then when it doesn't, they're disappointed and wonder why. But sometimes stuff doesn't work out.
Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, just some things don't work out, and the cover on that one I loved. I mean, I think it's beautiful and it's attractive and everything, but just some things just don't sell. I don't know. That's really hard to capture. Sometimes readers just don't like it.
Maybe we should have put a naked man on the front.
What?
A naked man?
Maybe we should have put a naked man on the front.
No, that's true.
Torsos sell books.
I have been hearing about that a lot lately, that a man's torso is what's selling right now.
It's funny how authors will jump on these trends, like a torso, or I like the meme of all the Nicholas Sparks books where it's just white people almost kissing. Like that kind of stuff. Well, Scarlett, is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience while we have you here?
I'm going to have 2 different pen names that'll be coming out probably at the end of the year, beginning of next year.
Oh boy.
So one of them will be inspirational, and I'm really excited about that. And then the other one will be mainly contemporary romance, and my husband is making goofy faces at me right now.
That's okay. My dog was digging in the sheets and making all kinds of noise over here. So you said one is inspirational. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, it's kind of sad. I hate to bring up. My nephew passed away recently. He got in a car accident, and he had just graduated high school. And whenever I was sitting in his funeral, I don't know why, but just it came to me what I wanted to do. And I want to be able to write books too where I don't have to be completely PC about what I say. And I wanted to have religion, God in it, so I would like to, like I said, it'll be a different pen name where I can, write about what I want to.
That's great. I love it.
That's cool.
And my first book will be dedicated to him. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm so sorry about that. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Thank you. He was taken too soon. But anyway, the contemporary romance one will be, and I'm excited about this one. It will be dark romance, and yeah, it's gonna be yummy. I think it will probably start with an assassin book on the first one, and it's going to, I don't know, it's going to be real good. Um, I've actually got the first three covers for that pen name already, so
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard because for me, I like to do what I want to do, but whenever I get covers, sometimes they aren't like really appropriate for like that genre or subgenre because
Mhm.
they just don't fit, what's supposed to be like in the market. And so yeah, I have to be careful with that, and I, ask people in author groups and stuff, does this look good? Is this right? Do these covers go together? Because I like I like to walk on the edge of like, you know, what people think is normal for certain, things. And so yeah, I have to be tamed in every once in a while on that. Whoops.
So, how long does it take you to write a novel?
Um, well, I would say probably if you're talking 80,000. See, for me, it goes anywhere from 80,000 to 120,000 word count for my novels, and that takes me about probably a month and a half. Not too long.
That's
It's
awesome.
impressive.
Yeah, very.
If I
Well,
really If I really get in the groove, in fact, whenever I was writing the Forever Evermore series, literally I would write 3 books in about a month and a half. It was
wow.
just, the story hit me hard, and it just, I was like, okay, everybody, leave me alone. I'm working.
Now, is that your full-time job? Like, you are a writer full-time?
I am. I was an accountant, and yay. But can you tell my level of excitement is not really there? But anyway, um, I actually did enjoy working with numbers and stuff. So, and it's kind of weird because I like the straight lace working with numbers where it was always white and black, where there was always an answer. There was always
Mhm.
a way. And but yeah, whenever I quit that, I took on my creative side, and I haven't looked back, and I'm very happy.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yep, congrats.
So we usually wrap up with a marketing or a self-publishing tip for the audience. And Kenya, do you have one? Because I have to think of one.
I know, I was thinking about that. I should have this ready. Um, my marketing tip for the week is um, let's just go with Twitter. Yeah, we've been talking about Twitter a lot lately, and Twitter's a good marketing tool. A good way to get followers on Twitter is this is how I usually get followers. I find a author or a blogger or a reader that I really like, and I go to their lists and see what list they're on, and I will follow people that are on that list that are that have the um, same kind of likes, and you follow those people, and either they follow you back or they don't, but that's how you start to build your Twitter following, is following people that um, like the kind of books that you write, or other authors and stuff like that. So that's a good tip for Twitter.
Let's see one. Okay, I have mine now. So it has to be back matter because I recently ran into this with my second book in the Zombified series. It needs to tie in, like if you have a series, you need to tie in the first one. Somebody gets to the end of it, they need to see that you have another book so you can actually go back and change your back matter, which is kind of a pain with Amazon because you have to re-upload it. But like with Smashwords or Drafted Digital, you can do it really easily.
Yeah.
But put your next book in the person series so that way if they get to the end of it and they want to read on, they can click right there and go and buy the next book. So I've got to do better about doing that. And also put your newsletter in there because if you don't put your newsletter in there, then you might miss the sign up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mine.
Good tip.
Scarlett,
Good
do
tip.
you have anything to add?
I, well, do I just need to say one? I feel like I have a lot, that I could
Give
help
it
you with.
to us.
Okay, I'll try to make it quick. No matter like how far you guys, like how far any author gets in the world, always remember that there are people who have not read your book. It doesn't matter if you've sold 1 million copies, or sold 10,000 copies. There's always somebody out there that hasn't read it. So if you have say a 5 book series, don't forget to pimp that first book. Always, always, always pimp it, um, whether by Facebook ads or Twitter ads or whatever. Just remember that you know you're not as popular maybe as what you think you are. Sometimes I forget to pimp the first book, whereas I'm just pimping like the new ones that are coming out, and people are like, I don't even know what this is. So um, you know, just make sure you do that. And let's see. Um, now I'm like out of ideas, and it's so sad. I have so many. Make sure
We can
you're.
have you back. We can have you back again to talk about marketing for sure. If you've got a lot to give us, we'll definitely take it.
Yeah, yeah, I, I've got a is and I like I said, I'm always like free to try something once at least, maybe even twice. That would be something that's actually good for marketing. Dip your toe in, just jump, because if you jump, it not smart, money wise, financially. So dip your toe in, see what works, what doesn't, and if you fail once at something, you might try it again at a different time because um, it, different seasons, different days of the week play a part in when people are actually online and able to see like your books and when they actually purchase. Like for me, I've noticed that people purchase more like on Thursdays, and it used to be Sundays.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know why, that switched, but just kind of keep track of, what you are, like the sales wise, the dips and the flows of it and stuff. I think
Okay.
that's all I
That's
got.
Cool.
good. Thank you.
No, that's good. That's good advice, and it's true. Like a lot of times we put something out there and we think, oh, well, everybody didn't see. Everybody saw it and they didn't click on it. Maybe half the people, especially on Facebook, might not have seen it, or half the people on Twitter. Obviously, like, if you have a lot of followers, everybody's not going to see it every time. So that's good advice. Where can readers and other authors find you?
I'm pretty much everywhere. I didn't always want to be everywhere, but I actually was very, hesitant about getting on different social media sites. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram now. Woo! I actually like that. I do. I'm having fun with that one.
I
Yeah, I'm able to like post videos and stuff really easily there, so that's cool.
love
And
it.
and let's see. My website, actually, my website is the place to go. That's scarlettdawn.net, not .com, it's .net. That is where all of my stuff is up to date. It's the most accurate place to go. I blog there too, so yeah, definitely go there for any questions. I have a contact page there too, so you can email me from there, and that's pretty cool. I'm always on Facebook too, so even though I should be writing, yeah. So feel free to friend me or whatnot, and I am on Twitter too. So um, that's pretty much it.
Great. We'll make sure we put those in the on the website, all of your links.
Okay. Thank you
For
guys so
sure.
much for having me.
You're
This was fun.
welcome. Yes,
Thank
it
you
was
for
so good
doing.
to have you.
Kenya,
It's
you're really good at wrapping up, so I'm gonna let you do that.
Okay, super. It was so good to have you here today, Scarlett, and we will be live again next Sunday, so make sure you check out the writeasylum.com. we will have links, and we will also have purchase links for Scarlett's books on the website. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.